In the bustling streets of Hong Kong, a city known for its glamour and excitement, a young woman's life was about to take a terrifying turn. Little did she know that her stolen wallet would set off a chain of events that would lead to one of the most gruesome and disturbing crimes in the city's history. But before we dive into the story, please consider subscribing and smashing the like button because it really helps with the channel. Thank you for the support. Alright, let's begin. This is the story of Fan Menyi, a 23-year-old nightclub hostess, and the shocking case that came to be known as the Hello Kitty murder. But the connection between this brutal crime and the beloved children's character is not what you might expect. As the details of this case unfold, you'll be drawn into a world of unimaginable cruelty, where the lines between innocence and evil blur. Brace yourself for a journey into the darkest depths of human nature and discover the twisted legacy of the Hello Kitty murder case. This is the story that will haunt you long after it's over, a reminder of the evil that can lurk behind even the most innocent of facades. Fan Menyi's life was one marked by hardship and struggle. Born in 1976 in Shenzhen, she was abandoned by her family as a child and left to fend for herself in an all-girls orphanage. At just 15 years old, she aged out of the system and found herself alone on the streets, with no one to turn to and nowhere to go. Desperate and vulnerable, Fan fell into a life of drugs and prostitution, selling her body to survive in an unforgiving red light district of Hong Kong. Despite her best efforts to escape this dangerous lifestyle, including a marriage and birth of her son in 1998, Fan couldn't break free from the grip of her past. She continued to look for work as a hostess at the seedy Empress Karaoke Club, where she crossed paths with the man who would ultimately seal her fate. Tan Man Lok was a 33-year-old triad member of Wo Seng Wo, which is the oldest of the Wo group triads, and it's the triad with the longest history in Hong Kong. So, with a rap sheet that included drug trafficking and reputation for brutality, he was one of Fan's regular clients at the karaoke club. And when she made the fateful mistake of stealing his wallet, which contained 4,000 Hong Kong dollars, roughly 500 USD, Tan Man Lok saw the opportunity to indulge in his sadistic tendencies. But Tan did not act alone. He enlisted the help of three other equally ruthless individuals: Leung Weilun, 21-year-old, Leung Xingzhou, a 26-year-old, and then finally, most disturbingly, Lau Mingfong, a 14-year-old girl that Tan had been grooming to participate in his depraved activities. Together, this twisted quartet set out to make Fan pay for her transgression in the most horrific way imaginable. On March 17, 1999, Fan's world came crashing down around her when Tan and his cohorts abducted her from her flat in Laiyu estate. They took her to the apartment at number 31 Granville Road, Tsim Sha Tsui, where the true horrors began to unfold. Over the course of the next month, Fan endured a nightmare of unimaginable cruelty and torture. The gang beat her mercilessly with metal bars, the sickening crunch of the bone, and agonized screams echoing through the apartment. They poured hot candle wax and molten plastic over her bruised flesh, the searing pain causing her to writhe in unimaginable agony. They forced her to consume feces and urine, the stench of human waste mingling with the metallic tang of the blood in the air. And they raped her repeatedly, their brutal assaults leaving her broken and bleeding on the filthy floor. Fan's injuries were so severe that she was eventually unable to walk, her shattered body giving out under the relentless onslaught. Between April 14th and April 16th, 1999, Fan finally succumbed to her injuries, horrific abuse, her life snuffed out in a final, agonizing moment of betrayal and despair. In the aftermath of Fan's death, her killers set about covering their tracks in the most macabre way possible. They dismembered her lifeless body, the once vibrant young woman reduced to nothing more than pieces of meat to be disposed of. They boiled her remains on a stove, the sickening smell of cooking flesh permeating the apartment. And then, in a twist that would forever link this heinous crime to a beloved children's icon, they sewed her skull into the Hello Kitty mermaid plush doll, along with a handful of dead insects. The symbolism of this act was clear. In the eyes of her killers, Fan was nothing more than a garbage to be discarded, her humanity erased and replaced with a grotesque mockery of innocence. The use of the Hello Kitty doll, a character known for its cuteness and purity, only served to underscore the depths of their depravity. As the weeks turned into months, it seemed as though Fan's killers might get away with their heinous crime, but the weight of their actions eventually proved too much for the youngest member of their group to bear. Lau Mingfong, the 14-year-old girl Chen had groomed into complicity, finally broke down and led police to the scene of the crime. Investigators were confronted with a gruesome sight: the Hello Kitty doll containing Fan's skull, a single tooth, and a few internal organs, as well as other body parts scattered throughout various locations in Hong Kong. The hunt for the killer was on, but before long, Tan, Leung Weilun and Leung Xingzhou found themselves in handcuffs, facing the full weight of the law. The trial that followed was a media circus, with the grisly details of the crime splashed across headlines and the public demanding justice for Fan. On December 7th, 2000, after weeks of harrowing testimony and damning evidence, the 3 adult perpetrators were found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 20 years. Lau Mingfong, in a controversial decision that sparked outrage among many, was granted immunity in exchange for her testimony against the others. So this is it, guys. The Hello Kitty murder case stands as a testament to the very worst of human nature. A reminder that even in a city as vibrant and cosmopolitan as Hong Kong, unspeakable evil can just lurk beneath the surface. So if you enjoy this type of content, please consider to subscribe to my channel Echoes. There will be more deep dives and other videos coming to your way soon. But until then, see you next time. So what's your take? Subscribe and let me know down in the comments below.